Welcome back, guys. So we got our package in for the Grand Prix Invitational held by the Three Blind Mice. And here she is. So 2019 Matchbox 1964 Pontiac Grand Prix. Plastic bottom, metal top. It's pretty cool. And as always, we're going to do a little acetone to get it out of the package. I always like to save the package for when I'm done. Gives me somewhere to put the car. And it can be stored away safely or given away or transported, whatever you desire. But the acetone works really quick to get the gum off. The little bit of goo from the glue comes off fairly clean. Of course, sometimes you have to give it a little bit of time. There we go. And you guys know the drill. No pun intended. Of course, we start with removing the rivets. Now, I haven't practiced this probably as much as many other builders, but still trying not to blow out the posts. Alright, so let's see if we can separate it. Looks like the back one didn't let go yet. There we go. Stubborn front one there. Don't want to go too far. But I can feel it wanting to let go, so let's see if we can pry it a little here and get it to pop. There we go. We're not going to be keeping those wheels, so we'll get rid of those. And we're going to be changing the color of this interior for sure. Let's get the body in the goo. Let's see how long it takes for the paint to come off. Now I had to leave it in the stripper overnight, and it still did not remove all the paint. So we're gonna have to try a strongest stripper for this newer Matchbox paint they're putting on. Yeah, if only I can find the doors. There we go. So after another night in the stripper, this is what we came up with. As you can see, it just didn't remove all the paint, especially on the inside of the car. A lot of the purple's still there, so we're gonna have to clean this up really good before we get anywhere with prep and paint. So in the middle of my cleanup, I started thinking, what can I do with this car that would be different than everybody else's build? So I figured I could make this a convertible. Being it's such a nice square long body, it would look good. So I'm going to take my jeweler saw and start hacking away here and see what I come up with. Now it does take a while to go through this metal here, so I'm not going to bore you guys with the entire length of time it took me to cut through it. And just cut the front here. And instant convertible. It didn't come out too bad. We got it just off the fenders there, so should clean up. I chose an acrylic for the body. And while the body dries, I got to work on the chassis here. Blacked out the bottom. And we did a little Molotov chrome for the grill and bumpers. Came out pretty nice, actually. Better than I expected. And we did a little bit on the dash as well. Now we're going to remain with white seats. We're going to add a little something to the interior. And I'm just going to go down the center here and fill in the center console and the steering wheel in black. And get it to stand out a little bit from the white interior. I always like those kind of contrasts. Now, if I can get it done without getting black everywhere, that'd be great. The console's painted and the steering wheel's painted. We're going to add a little more detail to this interior. I'm going to use a little glue, some Elmer's washable glue. And we're going to spread some of this glue on the floor of the car. Gonna get it coated nice and even all over the bottom, around the seats, everywhere that you would think of there being carpet, because that's exactly what we're gonna put in. So now that we have our glue on and it's gotten a little tacky, we're going to take some blue flocking and we're going to sprinkle that over it and get it attached there. And then we can pat it all down and get a simulated look of carpet. Now, it doesn't matter if you make a mess, because you're going to have to be cleaning this up for a while afterwards anyways. It's basically colored lint that likes to get everywhere. I'm going to pat this down, try and get it to stick to the floors. And we'll shake off the excess here, find out what we're looking like. So along with some of the interior details, I chose to make some dice out of styrene, and they are pretty small. I probably could have gone a little smaller, but my fingers couldn't hold these things long enough to shape them, let alone having a dot all the numbers on every side of the dice. It was a little bit of a challenge. I just used the wire, as you can see, and tried to just barely touch the dice so it wouldn't run too much paint onto the surface and bleed it all over the place. They turned out pretty good though. Although it is a very time-consuming and patience-testing process, let me tell you. And after a little bit of string attaching both of them, here you have it. Pair of mini dice. If we have dice, we're going to have to have something to hang them on. So out of styrene, we're also going to make a mirror. And like I said, these pieces are very, very small. It's not easy for my fingers to hold on to this kind of stuff. So we're going to use a little toothpick here and see if we can glue the post to the piece of styrene that I had shaped like a mirror. Just a little dab there. And hopefully it won't disappear as the previous three did before I could get them glued in. These things like to go flying once they're inside of a tweezer. As you can see, something this small, it gives me a little bit of trouble, but in the end, I prevail. And now we're going to use this brass rod, as I had almost forgotten that I needed to make axles so we can put our Johnny Lightning wheels onto this Pontiac Grand Prix. Alrighty, so the window we're going to cut because of course it's convertible, but we're going to use a little bit of the top of that plastic to make sun visors. And now we fabbed up a couple of exhaust tips and also an antenna ball. And what would a convertible be without its top? And last but not least, some seat belts. So now we're going to take the body and try and get these doors back into the pockets where they belong. I've already installed the spring. So if I can just bend the tabs a little, we can get those worked in. It's coming along really well. The bottom has gone in, the interior's in. Just a few last minute details as I try and get this exhaust pipe in. And we'll get it flipped over here and maybe get a little reveal in a few minutes. And there you have it. My 1964 Pontiac Grand Prix in sapphire blue. As you can see, it's beautiful paint. Has a little bit of metallic in there. Awesome, awesome, awesome color. Not bad for an acrylic on top of that. Just a regular full car paint. I love these Johnny Lightning wheels. And the antenna with the 76 ball was a real cool touch. Got the exhaust pipes under the rear there. What V8 wouldn't be complete without that? I love the stance on the car. But this interior is where I spent most of my work. The carpet, the seat belts, the convertible top, the dice, the mirror the dice hang on, and the visors that were ground out of the original windshield. But I think it looks great. That carpet looks awesome. Love the stance. And here is the original Matchbox that this is based off of. Still has the working doors. Albeit it has better detail than the newer one, just not on the underside. And in truth, I think the original is a little smaller scaled. But they do look great sitting next to each other. That's it for this build. Hope you stay tuned for our next one coming up. In January, we have the Nova. So look forward to that one. I'd like to thank everybody for stopping by and viewing my video. And if you liked it, hit a thumbs up.